passed a Learning with Liberty Council, and the Pelletiers have successfully completed the last part of the Pelletiers plan for reunification, which was to meet with the Tufts medical team. And they did that this morning at 9:30 a.m. The meeting went very well. We've debriefed them. It was cordial, and they're moving forward with all of the things that have been required of them to return Justina to her home. You know, the 4-point plan was that Justina would be moved to Connecticut. They would visit her, which they've been anxious to do for 15 months. They have received family counseling with their Dr. Dean Hoganson, who's continuing to provide that counseling, and they have also gone to they've completed every aspect of the plan. So we're really pleased about that. Phil will tell you a little bit more here about the motion itself and the rule that it was filed under, and we're just excited to be moving forward to see Justina get home.
Yes, I filed a motion on behalf of the Pelletier, Lou and Linda Pelletier, this morning. At about noontime, it's a Rule 60B motion, which is a relief from judgment, and we were hoping that Judge Johnson would act on it. Today we had indications from, we had indications from both DCF and from Nancy Hathaway, who is the attorney for Justina, that they would not, DCF would not oppose it. Nancy Hathaway indicated she would assent to the motion so that she could get home. We filed a motion, and then, unbeknownst to me, the clerk gave me a paper to take upstairs and called up ahead, and we went in and actually met with Judge Johnson. We presented him the motion. He looked at it, scanned it, and then asked me to try to explain it. I told him that it's a Rule 60B motion, which gives him the authority to give relief from his own judgment. And I then told him that the Pelletiers have been meeting with Secretary Polanowitz, which seemed to be somewhat of a shock to him, and that Secretary Polanowitz had set down, as Richard has just indicated, a plan which included 4 criteria, and as of this morning, on the 4th step or the 4th leg of that criteria was met, and as of now, it's our position that they have complied with the entire plan that Secretary Polanowitz has set forth, and therefore it's time for Justina to go home. And we were hoping that he would act on it. He kind of said, well, gee, have the other side responded to this? And I said, no, that they've been notified that we were going to file it. So he said that he would give them at least 2 weeks to respond. We went out with Nancy Hathaway, who is the attorney for Justina, who just happened to see us going into court and joined us in there and indicated to the judge that she was aware we were filing the motion, although she had not read it, but she would probably assent to it. So then we went out with her, and she called the attorneys at DCF, who said that they had not actually received it, but they would request 2 weeks to respond to it. That seems to me to be much too long a period of time. If they're going to assent to it or agree to it, they could simply indicate that they assent to the motion, and we could then go back before Judge Johnson and have him approve it or allow the motion without even a hearing. And that was one of the alternatives that I told him that we were looking for. But he seems intent on having a 2-week period for them to respond, and then set a definite time after that for a hearing. And that would take us to the June 20th hearing, which is going to be automatically allowed anyway, because that's when the 6-month period for his own review would come up. And he seemed hung up on procedure as opposed to form. So hopefully next week there will be some doings, and we'll be able to come back before him and expedite Justina's return home.
So it still could take 2 weeks?
Well, it could, but we're hoping that Reverend Mahoney's going to meet with Secretary Polanowitz on Monday morning, and we're hoping that at the end of that meeting, that things will move forward very quickly.
And so at the end of the day, though, we're really excited. The meeting with the Tufts Health team went really well, and Justina, the biggest thing that will make her get better is to be returned to the loving arms of her family. She needs to heal. She needs to heal physically. She needs to heal spiritually. Needs to heal emotionally. And they say that the heart is is something that when you have healing there, then everything else follows. So she gets home to her family, and the process begins, and she'll be back feeling better in no time.